Hi, welcome to this theater talk for I Need That. My name is Alex Curnow, and I'm a teaching artist with Roundabout Theater Company. I'm joined by a fabulous teaching artist. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Robert Sullivan, and I am super excited to be here today talking about I Need That, written by one of New York's literary treasures, the great Theresa Rebeck. We're going to talk a little bit about the show, but more importantly, I think I want to hear from you about why you're excited to see it as a fellow theater artist.
Well, I saw the show when it was first performed in front of an audience, and I loved it, and I'm really excited to see how audiences respond to it. My hope is that they watch this theater talk and are able to come into the show with some of their own inquiries and curiosities about this production.
So some baseline info, if you haven't figured it out, I'm a huge Theresa Rebeck fan. This is her 5th play on Broadway, making her the most produced Broadway female playwright of our time. Can you believe that?
I can believe it because she is a great writer, honestly.
She's unbelievable. She's putting out new stuff all the time. Here are some of my favorites. Omnium Gatherum. That play was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize.
Okay.
Bad Dates, Seminar, The Understudy. And just a few seasons ago, Roundabout Theater Company produced her last Broadway play, which was Bernhardt, Hamlet. She writes screenplays. She wrote Harriet the Spy. She writes for TV. And she, in fact, was the creator of Smash, which every musical theater lover was just obsessed with back in its day.
Yes, I was obsessed with it. I loved it, period, point blank, moving on. I want to talk to you a little bit, though, about the director, Moritz von Stuelpnagel. He has worked with Teresa a lot in the past. Moritz has been nominated for a Tony, actually, for his direction of Hand to God, which is a play that I love. It's super, super funny, similar to I Need That. And so I'm really interested to see how audiences respond to his direction of I Need That.
So I read the play a couple of times before seeing it last week, and I was moved every time. It's an emotional piece in addition to being funny. I Need That deals with a main character played by Danny DeVito who has a lot of things in his space. Some people think he's a hoarder. Theresa Rebeck says he's not quite a hoarder. He's just a few steps away from being a hoarder. He's not there yet. So the play asks questions like, what is our relationship with our stuff? And why do we attach emotion to things? Do you attach emotion to things?
I would say I attach emotion to a minimal amount of things. Like, I really like to have a clean space, but the things that I do have, I have a lot of emotional attachment to. And I know that in the play, Danny DeVito, there's this one moment that really stands out to me with him and a board game of Sorry. And he has a lot of memories from his childhood attributed to this board game. And, you know, I have a lot, like, the things that I do keep hold a lot of stories and power to them. And I relate to having trouble letting them go. I was just in New Orleans and I got an oyster figurine and I love it so dearly, and it reminds me of my time traveling and my love for oysters. And honestly, if someone made me throw that out right now, I might be crying like I did when I saw the show.
Well, that's what the play is talking about, is how we have deep-seated emotional connections to certain things because they hold memories for us. I'm a wannabe minimalist, for sure. I live in New York. We're all wannabe minimalists, right? We don't have space for a lot of our things.
Yeah.
But every single item I own is important for that reason, because I've siphoned through them and said, I need that. I need that. And so even though I might have fewer things than the character Danny DeVito plays, I need every one of my things.
Yeah, definitely. How we attach emotions to things, that overarching thematic question of the piece really translates well to it being a play, as opposed to a TV show like Smash or a film, because it's in front of you in the space and you have an emotional attachment to the things that Danny DeVito's character Sam has an emotional attachment to. And it's right there in front of you. You don't do this, please, but you could reach out and touch it, honestly. And when I left the theater, I was like, whoa, like, I felt like I went through the same emotional process that Sam went through. And it was just a very visceral experience for me, honestly.
I like that you warned everybody not to touch the items on stage.
I mean, don't go, I need that. You don't need that.
They don't need everything. The set is quite overwhelming in a great way. It's receiving a lavish first production on Broadway.
Yeah.
What else pulls you in?
The humor, I think, like, Danny DeVito is super funny. What do you think audiences are going to respond to in the play?
Audiences are going to love the first-class cast of this production. In addition to Danny DeVito, we have Ray Anthony Thomas and Lucy DeVito. Lucy DeVito is Danny's real-life daughter.
That's why they have the same last name.
Amazing.
That's crazy.
The two of them have been attached to this play for some time, so Theresa Rebeck was able to write with them in mind, and it is said that she's even woven some real-life DeVito stories into the script.
I could totally see the real emotion behind those real-life stories on the stage. I think because there's so much tangible care between these two actors. Lucy's character really takes good care of Danny DeVito's character Sam and looks out for him and holds space for him in a lot of different ways, some better than others, but she's trying, and that's what's important. And it made me wonder how I take care of the people that I love in my life, and that's something I would love for audience members to think about when they see the show. How do you care for the people in your life?
How do you care for the people in your life? A great way to end. Thanks everyone for taking the time to watch this theater talk. If you're into this kind of thing and you want to learn more, check out our Upstage Guide, which has feature articles and exclusive interviews with the artists involved in this production. That's available right here on Roundabout Theater Company's website.
And we'll see you at the theater.